Welcome everybody! Hello and welcome to Prop Live, your weekly prop and costume making Q&A session. I'm Bill, joined by special guest in the shop. It's Eric from Coregeek. Hello, Eric.
Hey, everybody.
Eric is, of course, local. He didn't just fly in. And as usually happens, Eric was like, hey, do you guys have a guest for Thursday? And we're like, no! He said, okay, I'll stop by. So Eric's here today to help you guys out with your costumes, props, and all of that. Cool. Of course, for the uninitiated, if you haven't been to Eric's website, where's that website, Eric?
Coregeek.net.
Boop, there it is. And you can go check out all the really rad stuff.
I'm embarrassed, though. None of my new stuff's on there yet.
No, none of the new stuff's
the
on there.
website's the last thing to get love. So.
Yep, but there's a lot of cool old stuff on there.
As soon as I finish up this sword I've been working on, I'm going to update all the Mad Max stuff on the website.
Well, I'm going to go look it up on Facebook right now, because I imagine you've been posting it on Facebook.
The sword?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck
Why
is
did
that?
I went to
awesome.
Oh, that's from
I saw that
Zero
the other day.
Horizon
Yeah.
Dawn. I went to Facebook and I looked up Facebook. Coregeek Cosplay Creations. Of course, if you're not following Eric over there, you should as well. Boop. Oh, you're doing a giveaway?
Yeah, I'm doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
So
My browser window doesn't work.
Oh, no. What's going on, browser?
I have to do this. This is a weird thing. I have to go here and then click.
Oh, yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah, it's the... yeah, I have had the same problem.
Yeah, why don't you tell the folks about your giveaway?
I recently hit 7,000 followers on Facebook and on Instagram. So
Awesome! Congratulations.
I like doing giveaways just to say, hey, thanks people for checking out my stuff. So this one's going to be drawn on the 2nd of June, and it's an Immortan Joe buckle.
Very cool.
And that's all cold cast metal.
I've seen them in person. They're really cool. You guys definitely want to go there. So
all you have to do is go to Facebook or Instagram, follow the link to my webpage.
I'm going to link it
sign
in the
up
chat.
for my mailing list. I'm starting a mailing list.
Very good. Very good. I'm happy to hear that you're doing that.
Yep.
But you were working on this giant sword. Oh, did you bring this guy here?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to go
browse
down your Facebook page.
So there we go. There's whoa.
So that was from Emerald City?
Yeah, that's from Shapeify Me. So I just got it today in the mail. Literally.
Oh, that's so convenient.
Literally like 2 hours before I left. So
that's cool. So that's your costume.
Yeah, that's a 3D version of my Furiosa costume.
Oh, it doesn't want to do that.
Which I need to do more painting work on it. So.
On the little model?
Yeah.
Get it a little bit touched up. That's pretty
spot
on, though.
I already did the chains on there.
Oh, I see that, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the chains.
But that's pretty spot on. But you said you were working on a sword. There it is.
Yeah, that's the crazy tip of it. So
yeah,
it's this crazy flame sword that has saw teeth on it. And
is this from anime?
It's from the game Fire Emblem.
Oh, okay.
So
close enough.
The sword actually has a name. It's Yatogami.
Oh,
so
okay.
You know it's a good sword if it has a name.
Hey,
if
Patch is here.
If you scroll down a little more, you might.
Hey, Patch is here. All right.
Hey, Patch. Yeah, 508. So you said 10 minutes in.
10, yeah.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Fantastic. Well, you've been busy. Keeping productive. Very good.
Always.
You've been streaming over on Twitch?
Yes. Yeah, I've been streaming more the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
So it'll probably slow down once I get the sword done because I'm going to have like a break of about probably 2 or 3 weeks before I start a new project. So
take a break.
Well, I mean, a break from prop building. My wife commissioned me.
Yeah.
To do housework.
Is that how it works now?
That's what it's come down to.
That's how anything gets done.
Yeah. Honey, the house you need to finish painting the house. I'm commissioning you to finish painting the house. So.
There you go.
So yeah.
Prop Tart Bot in the chat just posted all the links. Twitch.tv/CoreGeekNet if you want to follow him over there, which you should.
Thank you. And I've been saying on my live streams I would do it more often, but I always have to use my wife's computer. I finally bought myself a new computer yesterday.
Hey,
so,
cool.
So I can actually stream some more.
Neat.
Because my computer was just too old; it wouldn't run the streaming stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this little guy. I like this little machine, but it gets a little bit mad at me sometimes. So at some point we're gonna have to replace that. Actually, what I'll probably do, this is my plan. This little computer is gonna be run my CNC and my vinyl cutter.
Gotcha.
And my laser cutter.
All right.
Which are all not very taxing.
Yeah.
And then I have my gaming PC upstairs. I'll bring that down. That'll be the streaming PC.
Gotcha.
And then I'll replace the gaming PC with a really good gaming PC.
With a new gaming PC.
So I can do Vive virtual reality.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So
this is the plan.
That's the thing. Always use a new purchase to...
Oh, yeah. And then it
the
gets
trickle down.
Yeah.
The trickle down.
I haven't... This is probably the first that Brittany's hearing of my plan.
That goes along with if you can find a job or a project you want to work on where you can get a new tool out of it.
Yes, exactly.
Always plan for getting a new tool.
Yes.
That's how I built all my tool cache. Yep.
Let's see. I've been working on this has been my obsession for the last week, my little toy. And this is actually the first time anyone's seen it all done. Ta-da! It's my little Mad Max style RC car. I was working on this on the live stream a couple days ago. I finished it in between then and now because it's the only thing I've done between then and now.
And I have to say, it looks even cooler in person.
It's pretty neat.
It's pretty amazing.
So I added lights to it. There's my art student style lighting arrangement. But there's headlights. Ta-da! And there are little tail lights. I'm just super tickled by these little red tail lights. Someone, I can't remember, but someone in the chat on Tuesday recommended this painting style with the chipped effect using salt, and it was incredible. We'll put a link to that video that I used in the chat. So the salt scuffing or salt chipping technique.
Yeah, I think it was. I was watching when they suggested it.
So that was really neat. And I'm just obsessed with this little thing. So that's what I've been working on. I'm going to be starting on my Fallout costume here. Probably, I may even start tomorrow. I don't know. Brittany's going to be live streaming tomorrow. So if you guys are watching right now and you want to see Britt work on her Fallout costume and possibly me working on mine a little bit, tomorrow right here on twitch.tv/punishedprops at Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific. So tune in for that. That'll be a little bonus stream. We like to throw those in every once in a while. And we'd like to thank our patrons for helping make that possible at patreon.com/punishedprops. One more thing. I got my hands on an Ultimaker 3D printer. I met those guys at Maker Faire. And we're going to be doing more 3D printing. I have a big project I want to do with the 3D printer. I want to bring back Season 2 of Prop 3D. So Ultimaker is like, well, you should use an Ultimaker printer for that. So they sent me one, which is amazing. And I've had just a day to play with it. I printed the little lenses for my tail lights and my headlights. I printed those in a transparent plastic, and I am in love with it. It's so good. So that's what you guys have to look forward to in the coming days and weeks. But for today, we've got a whole pile of questions from you guys that we are going to dive into. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Distemper wants to know, apparently there's a new Bill and Ted movie coming out.
Oh!
And wondering if there's going to be a new Bill and Ted prop video. You know, it'd be really good.
There really should be one.
If in the movie there's a good prop to make, then
oh yeah, you guys make the prop together.
Ted and I should, me and
do
Evil
a video
Ted Smith.
making the prop.
Yeah. That's a really good idea, Distemper. We'll keep an ear to the ground.
Yeah.
If there's anything that makes sense that we could do, we'll do it.
Yeah.
I just worked with Ted on a project.
You can't pass up that opportunity.
Absolutely not. I just worked with Ted on a project. Let me see if I can bring up a picture. Of course, I wasn't working with him per se. He was down in Los Angeles. But he didn't post a picture of the whole group. But this is what
Frank might have.
Oh, you're right. Let me go to Frank's
I
page.
think there's one on Frank's page. I think I saw it earlier today.
Frank ought to change the name of his personal page and his public page into different words.
Right?
I
There
keep
you go.
almost sharing his public page. I have to do this and then switch over. There you go. So the folks at For Honor for E3 commissioned Frank's company to build these things. So Ted did all the helmets. I did this giant axe.
Very cool.
Which was awesome. Of course, all made out of foam.
Of course.
Of course. So I got to work with Ted. So yeah, look forward to that. Bill and Ted's.
Did Frank do the costumes, or did he have
I don't
someone
know.
else doing
I'm
it?
not sure.
Not sure.
I'm not sure what part he might
They
have
all look
done.
pretty cool, though.
All right, that question came to us from Distemper. Next one comes from Rob with 2 B's. R-O-B-B. I recently made a major mistake and destroyed the masters for a model I made. I'm devastated by it and was wondering if you've ever had anything similar happen, how you dealt with it, or if not, how you would go about dealing with it. I just about want to give up on the project at this point. I don't think I've ever done something quite like that. I did damage a master when I was molding it. The first time I ever tried to make a mold.
I've done that before.
Yeah, so I just fixed the master.
Yeah.
I spent another couple of days and fixed the master.
Maybe a better question would be is, do you have any casts off that master?
Yeah, if you made a mold of it, you could cast a new master, clean it up.
But maybe you're not to that point yet either. So.
Yeah, but if he's saying that he's got a master, I'm presuming he's got a mold.
Maybe. So if you have a mold, you can mold it and then make a new master from it if you need to. So
I am sort of someday I want to have a wall like in the game Hitman. He's got a wall with all of his guns.
Yes.
I want to do that with all my masters.
Yeah.
But until then, they're all jammed in a box over there. They're just it's dusty. Like I should take better care of them, but I don't.
Bill's box of treasures.
It's like priceless, irreplaceable pieces over there. Yeah, I would say, Rob, just bite the bullet and fix that master up. But if you have a mold, then make a good casting of it, and that can become your new master. Okay, Lee. Lee from BlizzCon. I know you are, Lee. After assembling a pep file to fill with Rondo, is there another step?
Sorry,
That's fine.
No, I was just reading the chat, and Monk C was like, "Hey, Bio Cosplay, but you don't have a Coregeek action." Tell you what,
until you mold and cast that,
I'll mold and cast you one, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but
I'm just chuckling because now from now on, Lee is going to be Lee from BlizzCon.
Lee from BlizzCon.
BlizzCon League. After assembling a pep file to fill with Rondo, is there another step? I've seen some stuff about adding a layer of resin to the cardstock to make it more sturdy for when you use the Rondo. Whenever I've used Pepakura and I want to reinforce it, I just fiberglass it. You can use Rondo, which is a mixture of fiberglass resin and Bondo. And you can slush that on the inside to get a really nice sturdy finish. But you can also just use fiberglass cloth on the inside, put a couple layers in there, and it'll be nice and sturdy. But I don't do that very much.
Sounds like the way to go to me. I've never done that. So
Sean Thorson is the guy to check out. He does a lot of Rondo. That would be Thorson and Associates. Thorson and Associates. Where is your protagonistforhire.blogspot.com?
Yeah, that's right.
It's been the same blog. Yeah, I'm going to post this in there. Go dig through that, and we'll put the link in the chat. Go dig through his backlog of blog posts. He's got some stuff in there on Rondo. There you go. There you go, Lee. Good luck. All right, Lee from BlizzCon. Next question comes from our buddy Sanit. He says, when are you guys coming to New Zealand?
I keep telling him he just should send me some airline tickets.
I know. As soon as you convince someone to send me there. Sanit, don't worry. It's not like we're here like, you know what? I heard New Zealand sucks. Yeah. I ain't going.
Yeah, no.
I am chopping at the bit for a
I don't
chance
know if
to
you
go
could make
there.
me go to New Zealand. I mean, who wants to go there?
I'm glad that he's still very stoked to get us out there.
Someday I will come.
Yeah.
I want to be there so bad.
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately, it's not a cheap trip.
No, it's not. Pink Star Cosplay says, yeah, come to New Zealand. Yes, we absolutely want to.
Yes.
We're working on it. Don't worry. We're working on it. The stars need to align, though. All right, Santa. Next question comes from lovely Anemone. Anemone. I'm trying to plan my first cosplay ever, and I'm wondering how to get started. I want to cosplay May from Overwatch, and I'm a novice at sewing. Where do I start? There aren't any tutorials to follow. That might be a little bit of an ambitious build for your first costume, if you haven't done any sewing at all. What I would do is find a project where there is a pattern already available or something close. Whenever I'm going to sew something, I'll either take a shirt that's close to what I need, cut it apart, and use that to make my pattern, or I'll go through all the patterns at Joann's until I find something that's close and sort of add on to it from there. May sounds like a really ambitious first start.
Yeah, she has that really heavy big coat.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too is may not be able to because it's so specific, but you know, if you can reutilize already made clothing, that's always a great way to go, especially for your first time. And then maybe you can sew some of the smaller pieces or something. Yeah. So. And also, if you've never done sewing before, a lot of the local Joann's and stuff do sewing classes.
Yes, they do.
And I've heard a lot of people say that those are actually really informative and a great way to learn. I gotta imagine though that there's a lot of sewing tutorials on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I think what you're gonna find is that you're not gonna find it a how to make a May costume tutorial.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, a lot of times people will ask me to make a tutorial for a specific costume, and I'm not gonna do that unless that's a costume I'm gonna make for myself.
Exactly.
I can't make a tutorial for every single type of costume. What I can do is show you the different techniques you would utilize to then go and pattern your own costume.
Yeah.
As far as sewing is concerned, obviously I don't do very much of that. So I don't have any sewing tutorial videos, but there are plenty of them online.
Yeah, I've been there's a... I'll have to send you the link. I can't remember her name, but there's a gal that does a lot of sewing on Twitch.
Oh, cool.
That I've been watching her, and she's pretty amazing. So
there you go.
I know a lot of people that...
Yep, you're really just gonna
probably watch her as well.
Yeah,
I can't think of her name offhand though.
So instead of looking up a May tutorial, look up a patterning tutorial or a modifying pattern tutorial or something similar to that to get you started. But also consider too, like maybe doing a version of May, like a casual May costume, where you don't necessarily have to go 100% accurate. Just pick the things about the costume that make that character unique, and kind of run with it. All right, that was Lovely Anemone. Good luck with your very first costume. You're taking bold steps into a wonderful new world. All right, Fearless Facade has a question for Mr. Jones. What was your solution for successfully hiding all the wiring for your Fire Emblem sword? Also, shout out to Eric for being a general all-around nice dude. I think Eric's all right. Nice enough to let him into my house.
Thanks, man. He makes me wait outside, though, until it starts.
Yeah, I've also let the air out of all his tires.
So, actually, let me borrow this.
Yeah?
Okay.
My WMR.
So, this is my example of the sword blade, okay?
Okay.
That blade's, like, really thin, and there's 2 cutouts for the gems with the lighting. And I tried different ways of how I wanted the lighting to look and everything, and I decided that one, I liked the look of it, and it was easier to hide everything if the lights fired into the side. So imagine a hole in here. So I actually embedded the lights sideways.
Okay.
So they fire into the cavity of where they'll shine through the gem.
You can also get, I don't know if it would fit in that particular arrangement, but you can get strips of LEDs that aim off at 90 degrees.
Yeah, that might have worked too.
Yeah.
So
just options for whatever sword you have out there.
Yeah. And the way I hid the wiring was, so I pushed those through the sides, and then that sword, since it has a channel for the teeth that go on there, the crazy saw teeth, I actually just routed out a channel, buried all the wires in there, filled it with resin.
So it's just in there now.
And it's just in there. Yep. Yep.
There you go.
So that's how I hid those.
Very specific solution for a specific problem.
Yep.
This is all that's left of Will in my shop, by the way.
Oh.
But he lives on in spirit.
We miss Will.
He's not dead. Just
well, I mean, not being here.
Also, I have my new. I'm really proud of this. My new Jimmy DiResta ice pick here. Ta-da! So I can go poke stuff with an ice pick. It's my shop defense.
There you go.
Okay, thank you, Fearless Facade, for the question. PR props. What's the most difficult prop you've made? And what material do you like to work with best? What material do I like to work with best? Let's see, the most difficult prop. It's got to be that District 9 rifle. Just because the sheer size of it, how big this stupid thing is, and then there are many components. So there's tubes that run the length of it. There's 24 of them.
Yeah, there's a lot to that.
Just stupid amount.
That
Which
rifle-
Brittany cast most of those
that
because
rifle's
she's a
crazy.
saint.
That rifle's
And we
crazy.
did it in a very short amount of time. So that's my pick. What was your most complicated build? Difficult build?
Probably the rocket launcher for Farah.
Oh, yeah.
From Overwatch that I built for our friends.
Our friends Mario and
Mario
Alice,
and
who
Alice,
also moved to
Who
California.
we also miss.
God damn
Everybody
it.
keeps moving away. So, the Yatogami Sword is right up there, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did a lot of sculpting on that, which I haven't done a lot of.
Yeah.
So,
Would you sculpt it in?
epoxy sculpt.
Of course. Yep.
Yeah.
So you could sand it.
Yeah, exactly.
I had
Go to your strong suit, man.
who was just here? Oh, my buddy Phil was here, and he's a digital sculptor. He works for the pop figures, the
Oh, yeah.
vinyl
Yeah.
figures. He's an artist and a sculptor. He's super talented, but he wanted to do more hand sculpting. And I have both freeform sculpt and epoxy sculpt. Like I have all the flavors.
Yeah.
So I just sent him home with a bucket of epoxy
Nice,
sculpt, and I was
nice.
like, just go nuts, man.
Have fun.
Yeah, because you can sculpt it a bunch beforehand, and then you can sand it once it's cured.
Yeah, with that one too, it's like very specific lines and things, and they need to be like very close and accurate. And,
Yeah.
I do want to do clay sculpting though. So
Yeah.
I got to pick a project where I can do some clay sculpting because the more I sculpt, the more I like doing it. And, I actually want to get into more sculpting.
The material I like to work with best is whatever material is best suited to the job. So for armor, I like the foam because it's flexible, it travels very well, it's very durable. I can make it very durable. For convention props, I like using foam again because it's durable and I'm not going to hurt anyone if I drop it on them. But then for the District 9 gun, that was all done in cast resin. This guy here is Vacuform styrene plastic. You know, that's the right material for the job. So that's really what it boils down to for me.
Yeah, same for me. I really am a mixed media artist at this point, so it just really depends on what works. So I use a lot of pink foam for large guns, for convention guns.
Yeah, because they're lightweight.
Because they're lightweight and things. So, and foam for armor just because it's foam and it's armor and it's easy.
It's easy and fast to work
So,
with.
Yeah.
It was Funko Pop is the company. Missile Monkey says that we should make a Buddha Cat Funko Pop. I'm going to commission Phil
That would be awesome.
to make one. That would be incredible.
So he's one of the sculptors? for
Yeah.
that? I know one of their graphic designers that does the the designs that
Sweet.
that the sculptors do.
That was PR props. That was a good question. Wayne wants to know, what would be your passion project if you had unlimited time and resources? My go-to one is Corbin Dallas's apartment. I've said this before many times, but I want to have a trailer that I can take around with me, and in the trailer is going to be a perfect replica of Corbin Dallas's apartment from The Fifth Element.
I think that would be pretty awesome. Yeah. Pretty incredible.
I was also talking with Bob from I Like to Make Stuff about making a full-scale snowspeeder, so that's up there.
Ooh, full scale snowspeeder. That'd be great.
I think I'm going to start with a smaller one, like a go-kart sized one. I'll work my way up. I need to... A lot of these projects, like time and money is not as big a factor as where am I going to put this thing?
What do you do with it when it's done? Yeah, for me, it's... I've said several times on different things that I'd like to do like a 9 or 10 foot tall Jaeger.
Where do I put it?
But where do I put it?
You got to have a balcony in your house, so you got 2 floors to work with.
Yeah. Well, and then ideally I'd have the Jaeger, and then I'd make drive suits for my daughters.
Yeah, and they just run around.
Yeah, so
That would
we
be
can
incredible.
we can walk around the convention together. Kind of in synchronized.
Yeah. Really good. Good question, Wayne.
10 foot tall Jaeger. I have no idea where I'd put it.
Okay, next question. Joseph wants to know, when you're gluing neodymium magnets to foam, what's your preferred method and glues to use? I just use super glue.
Super glue.
Yep. I just scuffed it, sand it a little bit.
For whatever reason, super glue to magnets is
It's really good.
the best.
All right.
Although epoxy works too, though. So
Sure, but I use super glue for just about everything because it dries.
because
like
it's so
that.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Joseph. Good question. Easy answer. Jonathan wants to know, what plastic do you prefer for vacuum forming and why? I may be making tons of Stormtrooper armor for elementary schoolers. Thank you. I can tell you that they usually use ABS for Stormtroopers. So you may want to go with ABS. For this guy, I used styrene because I have a ton of it. That's the only reason why I picked it.
That's what you have on hand.
Yeah. I have a two, actually, when I was at Mario and Alice's last, they were clearing out for the move.
Oh, yeah.
They had a couple rolls, huge rolls of styrene over there, like 4x8 sheets, like 2 of them rolled up.
Nice.
Mario was like, I don't know, $10. I was like, sold! So,
I got it.
I have a ton of it. These guys were actually, the production, the original of this is vacuum formed in polycarbonate, which is very durable. I imagine this is pretty durable. I'm not going to try it.
Yeah. I'm sure it's quite durable.
Yeah, but there's plenty of other materials you can vacuum form in acrylic, which would be more brittle. So I wouldn't do Stormtroopers in that. Styrene is pretty good, but I would probably go with ABS for yours. There you go. That was Jonathan. Good question, Jonathan. Have you done much vacuum forming?
Just the well, I helped Mario with the wings for Farah.
Oh, that's right.
That he was building. That he's building for Alice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Morton Joan armor that we just did for my daughter.
Yeah.
I vacuum formed that with Mario.
Oh, the chest piece.
Yeah, all the clear. Well, the chest piece in the back. So just a limited exposure to vacuum forming. But.
You ought to once you have a little rig like that. In fact, to do a bigger one, I took my old toaster oven and I took it apart.
Yeah.
Effectively ruining it. So I had to run out and buy it. This toaster, look at $7.99.
$8.
$7.99 for a toaster at Goodwill. So I got another one. This one has 4 heating elements in it.
Nice.
4 for this little guy.
Very nice. Yeah, I need to build me one. I actually have a nice size toaster oven. So.
Yeah. So there's no reason to not get into it. Okay, next question comes from Patrick. When you were untested, I saw you using a GlueBot for applying your barge. Is there anything you can do to keep the fumes from escaping it? I could smell the fumes coming out of the bottle when I used it. Or is that normal? GlueBot. Where's my GlueBot? Here it is. So, you can put the cap on it. That helps when you're not using it. There it is. So you can cap it. But also, the gasket in there, there was a rubber gasket in here. I replaced it with a foam one, and you can see it's kind of glued down. This doesn't get eaten up by the glue. Barge, the rubber one that was in here, seemed to have been destroyed. So I replaced it with a hunk of foam, and that seems to work as a pretty good gasket as well. Like that. There's a white piece of foam in there, and that keeps it sealed fairly well. Yeah, so that worked all right. So, some stuff. Have you ever used something like this?
I haven't.
It's pretty good. It's very common for wood glue.
Yeah.
Really, really good for wood glue. So, GlueBot.
I've used the squeezy bottles like Will does.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't bought one of those yet.
This one's cool because when you squeeze it, you don't have to wait for it to tip out. You squeeze it, it goes blub, blub,
the
blub,
pressure
blub.
of it pushes
It goes out that
yeah.
way, yeah. So, I don't know. I still have to. I took this with me when I flew to tested, and it didn't quite get everywhere, but my luggage did smell like Barge for a while.
Oh no!
And for the first time ever, I've flown a lot, and usually when I open it, there's a note from the TSA that's like, "Hey, we looked through your stuff." Yeah. I had 2 of those.
Oh yeah, they're like, what?
No, we got to double check this.
What's this strange odor?
Yeah. GlueBot. All right, thanks, Patrick. Terry's got a question. Hey, I've always used Mold Star Platinum Cure Silicones for years, but I'm considering trying something new for simple 1-part molds. I was thinking of trying Tin Cure. Any recommendations or personal preferences? You have a favorite silicone?
I've been using the Mold Star NV14.
Mold Star is...
I think it's smooth on.
But Mold Star is platinum.
Oh, maybe it's not. Is it?
Mold Max is...
Oh, Mold Max, sorry. Yeah, Mold Max.
Yeah.
The NV14. It's only 14, so it's not super stiff, but
NV14 for 1-part molds that aren't too tall. That should be fine.
But what I really like about it is
low viscosity.
it really comes out clean. I have not had any problem because I don't have a pressure chamber yet, so
Yeah.
I have no problems with it working well with the good old bombs away pouring method.
Yep.
So that's my favorite right now. I've been using it on a lot of stuff.
Cool.
So
My go-to is Mold Max 30. I just buy gallons of it when I get low, so I always have it on hand. 30 is a good kind of mid-range shore hardness, and they make a catalyst for it called FastCat 30. So if you want to set it off really fast instead of taking 16 hours, you can mix that in. So, for example,
which is awfully nice.
I'm super impatient. That's the main reason why. The spiked hubcaps on this guy here, I made the master and I wanted to mold it, like you were saying, Terry, a simple 1-part mold. So instead of using the catalyst that comes with Mold Max 30, I replaced it completely with a FastCat.
Nice.
And this mold set up in about an hour, which is awesome because, again, I'm impatient. So I don't believe they make that FastCat for any of the other silicones. So that's one of the other reasons.
What's the pot life with it?
Oh, it's much shorter. You have about 5 minutes to get it poured.
Is it a little nervous when you're doing it? It's like
I don't get nervous
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
a very small amount of silicone, too. So I'll use that for small 1-part molds, for sure. And then Mr. Handy. Yeah, Mr. Handy's right here. I believe just about all of the molds for Mr. Handy were done in Mold Max 30, like this. This is the least efficient use of silicone for a mold ever, by the way. I was going to make a matrix mold and do this whole thing, but I just got impatient.
You just
again.
dump some,
Yeah.
just dump some stuff in there.
So Mold Max 30 is my go-to. Okay, thank you, Terry. Excited to see what else Terry's going to be cooking up for us. By the way, if you guys aren't following Vector Sigma Creations over on Facebook, you got to go over there and check out the dubstep gun that he's making. Right, Cat Dog 1134 says, I've seen a lot of your videos in which you make boxes for your molds. I was wondering, what material do you use? I've heard you describe it as sheet plastic, but I'd love to know what kind and where you purchase it. You can use anything, really. Any flat thing that's rigid enough to not buckle when you pour silicone in.
I like to use foam core
Foam core is really good.
because it has a smooth surface on it.
Yep.
So.
I have this plastic. I'll show you. It's PVC. Yeah. This just happens to be black. It comes in all kinds of colors. But this is sheets of PVC, foamed PVC plastic. Sintra is a brand name. I use this because Will, my old shopmate, was at Tap Plastics, and someone had ordered a bunch of these sheets, and they trimmed 2-foot strips off of them. And they had like 10 of these 2 feet by 8 feet strips.
They're all just cast off.
And they were like throwing them away, so nice. Will took them. So I have a massive pile over there. So that's what I use for mold boxes, just because I have a ton of it and it was free. But I buy that stuff from Tap Plastics locally. But again, you can use foam core from craft stores.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing about foam core is it's pretty much destroyed once you pull it apart, but
it's fairly cheap.
Yeah, but it's pretty cheap. So
if you haven't bought anything yet, consider just getting some foam core. Thank you, Cat Dog. Let's see here, Daniel over at Tested. Adam, in a couple of different builds, has used aluminum tape to simulate metal. Aluminum tape. Always have it on hand. Mostly on his Hellboy sword. Can this technique be used on a foam weapon? I bet it could.
I bet it would dent easy though.
Yeah, it would. But maybe
unless
that's what you're going for.
Unless you harden the foam first, maybe.
I don't know. Hold on. Let's do something impromptu. I have foam right here. I have an example. This was an example I used for one of my videos. And I have tape right here. Let's give it a try.
That tape's very finicky.
So we've got the backing on it there. And we're going to lay it down on an edge and like fold it over. So we got it right there. Just wrap it around the edge like that.
There's no doubt it'll stick well.
Yeah, the adhesive on there is usually pretty good. So there's our thing. But like Eric was saying, it will take dents very well. Or I mean, not well. You probably don't want
too
dents.
well.
Yeah, too well. So if you're going to have a sword that you want to be nice and smooth, also, if you bend it, it will crinkle. Like that. So again, if you're not worried about that happening, go for it. But that just note to expect that.
Yeah. You could probably wood glue the foam first, stiffen it up a little bit.
Yeah. It depends on the piece.
Yeah.
It depends on the output you're trying to get, but there you go. A little impromptu experiment.
It's probably a better finish technique to use for something that's kind of beat up.
Right, that's like the Hellboy sword.
The Hellboy sword, that's made me think of it as
it does stick pretty well. Like it's pulling up foam.
Yeah, it probably, yeah. So
there you go. All right, let's see here. That was Daniel. I'm glad to see people are watching obviously the people from our chat would be the kind of people watching tested videos. There's a wealth of knowledge over there.
Absolutely.
In fact, part 1 of this build is described in great length in an article over on Tested's website.
I just watched that like 2 nights ago.
George says, I want to make organic shapes out of foam. Big blocks of styrofoam are expensive. I've tried great stuff expanding foam, but after letting it set, I started carving and it was so full of pockets and air bubbles it was useless. Is there any way to make this solid, or is there a cheap expanding foam alternative to carve my organic shapes? I don't know what the great stuff particularly is, but if you get like Foam It from Smooth On, like a more industrial grade expanding polyurethane foam, you're probably gonna have better luck.
Yeah.
Or you use the sheets of styrofoam, right?
Yeah, the XPS is a really good go-to. My problem with the house insulation expanding foams is they're not really made to last.
No.
The foam eventually breaks down.
It's like the stuff that comes in a can.
Yeah.
I've tried that stuff too.
Yeah, I don't have good luck with that. There is one trick to using that stuff though, and when you spray it out, if you mist it a little bit with water, it makes all the difference.
Oh, cool.
So, but I don't know. I don't particularly like working with it. So.
Me neither. Tap Plastics has something called X30 that expands 30 times in volume.
Yeah, the more industrial expanding foams are great because they make one solid chunk basically.
They do. What I'll use if I'm doing Foam It, which is Smooth On's version, they have different varieties based on how much you want it to expand. It's a urethane plastic, and when you mix the two parts together, it starts to react, and it intentionally creates bubbles and expands. You want to mix that really well. So if you have a power drill with a Squirrel Mixer or something similar on there, to mix it really well so that it gets incorporated quickly. That way you don't have any swirls of like uncured foam in there.
Yeah, then you don't end up with pockets.
Yeah, so you got to mix it quickly and then pour it into your, let's say, a bucket or a form that you want to carve from. Pour it in there, let it expand, let it cure all the way, and then you'll have a big block of urethane foam to work from. If you do that, mixing it quickly and thoroughly with a mechanical means, then you're not going to end up with big pockets of air, like you were saying.
But really, I mean, you can just buy a sheet of XPS. It's like an 8-foot sheet.
Yeah.
Like $20.
You can laminate the layers together.
You can laminate the layers together with Super 77,
yep.
And you can knock down that stuff really quick with a speed file.
Yep.
Like the cheese grater style. Those work really good.
That guy right there, that's my favorite. That big one.
This one, or a rasp like this one.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
It'll eat right through that.
So that blue sheet right here, there's a blue and pink one right there. Those are both XPS, the insulation foam. So that would be the cheaper method for sure. But the stuff that comes out of a
sturdier.
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably cheaper than the cans because those cans are like $6-7 a piece.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay, there you go, George. Problem solved. Next question. Nick at Modulus Prop says, I'm planning on putting together a foam chainsaw prop that's con safe. Thinking of using upholstery foam to bulk out the shape of the body, covering that with EVA. What would you use to build up the internal volume of something like this?
Pink insulation foam.
Yep, you could use insulation foam. You could do
that's what I'd use anyway.
The expanding foam, like we were just talking about.
In fact, you can skin the pink insulation foam really well with other EVA, the thinner EVA.
Yeah.
Or like one of the rifles I built, the name of it escapes me right now. It's actually XPS foam skinned with Sintra, like really thin, really thin sheets of Sintra. So.
Yep, there's a lot of different ways you can take up all that space, but the expanded foam, this stuff right here.
Nova Master Rifle. That's what it was.
There it is.
I knew it would hit me later.
Yeah. All right, there you go, Nick. Next one comes from Wade. How do you make word reliefs in a foam sword without adding material to the blade? So, like text, I imagine, he says?
Yeah.
You could do a stencil and just paint the words on. I have a video, actually. We will link it down in the description of this video on stenciling. You
find a friend with a laser cutter.
Find a friend with a laser cutter. That would make quick work of that. We joke, but you could find a makerspace, a local makerspace that'll let you use their laser.
The only way I've ever done that is to add another layer to cut out. So it's
but a simple stencil.
Unless you're really good at hand carving or something.
Yeah, a stencil. You can even do this. You can do the stencil and I have just tape over here, just masking tape. Cut out your stencil, lay it down on your piece, paint over it, peel the stencil off. You'll have your text, and that wouldn't add any material. There you go, Wade. We got a couple of questions about the critter gun. Jazzman and Otaku Ninja want to know, let's see, I've been trying to find a critter spray gun locally, but it looks like they've disappeared off the face of the earth. Oh no! Are there any other spray guns you could recommend? Also, wow, Otaku Ninja says that the price of the critter gun is $161 when it used to be $40. There's a global critter gun shortage, and it's probably my fault.
I haven't bought one yet. I should have bought one when they were $40.
I should have got more than one. I have just the one. Holy crap! I gotta look this up real quick. Maybe look on eBay. Critter spray gun. Holy shit! No wait.
Oh, there's one for
There's one.
34 plus $6 shipping.
Let's see here. The K-Grip siphon spray gun. High quality, low cost. Yeah, this one I don't know why.
Is that like a generic version of it? The
K
K-Grip? Is that because it's not listed as a critter?
Yeah, that's really weird.
That is strange.
I'm not sure what's going on with them right now.
Wow.
But there's this one here. It looks like it's the same one. So just go get that one. But also, like I said, maybe look on eBay. Maybe look. Actually, I'm gonna look on eBay right now.
Man,
you could do.
Who'd have thunk?
You can go to get a sprayer from, like a detail sprayer from Harbor Freight. Spend $15 on one of those guys, and if you ruin it, just throw it away. That's what I do for like catalyzed primers and stuff. Let's see here, critter spray gun on eBay. Good gravy!
Holy crap!
Holy crap! It's like $300. I mean, I don't know if people are actually paying $300, but someone's asking $300 for it.
I wonder if they're not being made anymore.
I'm gonna sell mine. You kidding me? All right, bidding starts at $150 for Bill's critter gun. Holy crap! I'd like to think I had something to do with that. We were at a small convention in Utah with some of our friends, and I was on a panel one morning. And I was saying how much I liked their breakfast burritos at this small resort. The next day, they were out of breakfast burritos and they had raised the price.
Wow, man.
So everyone was like, oh, if Bill says the breakfast burritos are good, then we should get them. The next day, everyone rushed downstairs for breakfast.
Breakfast burritos.
Bought out all the burritos. And they panicked, so they raised the price. All right. Sorry, I guess I can't really help you guys out with the critter thing. Hopefully they'll get back into production and make some more, and the price will come down. All right, Lady Cammy wants to know when you prime EVA foam for painting with Plasti Dip, how many layers do you put on? I'll put a lot, like 8, many layers.
Yep.
Sound about right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't cover very well, and it will leave like little pinpricks on there.
Yep. And really good tip with Plasti Dip is warm up the can in warm water first. So
yeah, that's a good idea.
Grab a small bucket, run warm water in there. If you do that with Plasti Dip, it comes out like 3 times smoother.
Yeah, I'll do that with most rattle cans now.
Yeah.
Good call on that.
Otherwise, especially in cold weather, the Plasti Dip, I've had it to where it just comes out like all splotchy and gross, and you're just like screaming because it's like But I started heating my cans and no problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just a bucket of hot water.
Yeah, just run warm water from the tap, nothing hotter. You don't want to explode the can,
Yep.
so there's always that.
Leave it in there for 10 minutes.
Don't boil it on the stove or anything. Just Plasti Dip bomb.
Yeah. And again, a lot of that really comes down to how particular you are about the finish that you get on that. Okay. Albert wants to know, after hearing your suggestion to seal my foam in contact cement before applying latex, I realized I still have a couple of cans of Dap Weldwood cement. My question this week is, I was wondering if that brand would be sufficient enough to use for sealing instead of Barge. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Dap Weldwood is just fine.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was working with Ted down in Frank's shop, they got the like non-toxic version of what the Dap Weldwood comes in a green can.
Yeah.
It's water-based.
Yeah.
It's a terrible glue, but it works great to seal.
Yeah,
so,
and it doesn't smell as bad.
Yeah, it doesn't smell nearly as bad. So you can absolutely do that.
Yep.
What I've found with the Poly Latex 60 that I use is I don't really need to put any adhesive down first. It bonds really well to the rubber, but it doesn't hurt to do it anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Extra prep never hurts. It just takes up time.
It just takes up some time. But if you've got a whole bunch of extra cans of Weldwood sitting around, might as well use it.
Go for it.
That was Albert. Thank you. Good question, Albert. Next one comes from Sam. A very serious prop and costume making question. Who's your favorite superhero? Go. Mine's Wolverine. Who's yours?
Probably Batman.
He's not even on your shirt.
I know. I like Batman.
Okay. Who's your favorite supervillain? Darth Vader.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Darth Vader would destroy Voldemort.
Yes,
Voldemort would be like, Avada Kedavra, and he'd get choked. I put a lot of thought into this.
Supervillain. I don't know.
And also, figure this, if he gets the death spell off and it tags, like, Vader in the arm, Vader's going to be like, man, it's a robot arm.
I'm really bad at these kind of questions because I always think of, like, my favorite afterwards. You're like, I should have said that.
So good.
So.
All right.
Wolverine. Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt's pretty good.
Space Slug, I mean, come on.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time, like, matching up characters in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about who would win in a fight. That's how I spent most of my time when I worked at Microsoft.
Well, you got to do something.
I actually did a very short. I think my friend and I only made like 4 episodes, and they're on the internet somewhere. We did a podcast where we would each take the side of one character and pit like, them against one another
and debate their qualities.
I'm not going to tell you what it was called.
Did you still have the hair then too? The long hair then?
I don't.
In those videos?
These weren't videos. These were audio.
Oh, audios. Yeah. Okay.
So my buddy Dave and I did a podcast. I'm not going to tell you what it's called, but if you find it, let me know because I don't remember where I put that. All right, thanks, Sam. Vadim wants to know, how do you make a timeline to get your props done on time? I have a very specific method where I make milestones. So I'll get a calendar. I'll say it needs to be done by this date, and then I work my way backward. So if it needs to be done by, let's say, Friday, then it needs to be painted by Thursday. Usually Wednesday. It needs to be painted by Wednesday. That gives me a day of buffer to fix or finish anything before I need to be flying with it. This is, okay, if it has to be painted by Wednesday, then I have to have all the fabrication done by Tuesday. And so I'll work my way backward to the current time and make milestones for each day where I need to be at each day. And I try and be as generous as possible with that time so that I have extra time to get there. And that way I know if I need to have like the helmet done by Tuesday, let's say, and it's Tuesday, and that helmet isn't done, then I'll stay up late and finish the helmet on Tuesday.
To make sure you...
So that I'm not staying up late to finish everything right at the end. So that's how I do it.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah. Do you actually do that?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good idea, Bill.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's hard because it's not my full-time job.
Yeah.
So I have to wedge out time like when I can,
Yeah.
And what I usually do is, based on all the experience I have from building other things, I guesstimate, okay, this up to this point is going to take me this much time. Up to this point is going to take me this much time.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of look through the milestones that way. And then whatever that total is, double it, and then still not get it done on time. So
still end up spending the last day right before the con.
because you know, because I have to wedge it into whenever I have free time.
So if you have a day off, you probably have a pretty good idea what you need to accomplish that day.
Yeah.
To get,
and that's what I do is and I also work a rotating schedule shift in my regular job, so I have 3-day weekends every 3 days.
Yeah.
And what I do is, okay, by the end of this 3 days, I want to be at this point, you know, and usually I can hit that mark.
Yeah.
So sometimes I can't, sometimes I do.
Whenever it is,
Most
whenever
of the time,
your
yeah.
timetable is, just double it. That's a good good rule
and
of thumb.
figure it out and double it, and even triple that.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Vadim. Next one comes from Jonathan, working on a Zero mask. Imagine Zero from Borderlands.
Most likely.
I do not have access to a Vacuform table or the budget for one. Are there alternatives that I could use? You could go buy one from our friends at Cosplay for Us All.
Cosplays for Us All, yeah. Do they sell just a mask? Or do they just do the whole helmet?
I don't remember, but you can go ask them.
Yeah, I bet they'd sell you a mask. Or a shield.
That's
just the shield if you want to...
That's tricky because it's you can't just go buy a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
It's a very specific shape and helmet. But go talk to them. If they're still selling, just buy one from them.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's a really, really tricky form to get without a Vacuformer. They make theirs with a Vacuform table, and that's the way to do it. Otherwise, you can try heat forming PETG plastic by hand with a heat gun, but
yeah,
that sounds like
it's difficult. I did all the arm pieces for Martin and Joe.
Yep.
By hand out of PETG.
So it's possible.
And I don't think I'd want to do a visor that way. Tell you right now, definitely would not want to do. But you could also build a small vacuum former. I mean, you have a video about it.
That would be a pretty big one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But you can still do it.
Because of the...
You can still do it.
It would have to be pretty good size.
Challenge yourself, Jonathan. Challenge yourself. All right. Fake Alex Blue says, I'm familiar with brushing on and slush casting latex in relatively thin layers, but can you cast solid latex pieces? If so, any tips? I want to make a flexible pommel for a prop sword, but I don't have any foam polyurethane on hand. You can. The thing with latex is that it dries. So if you have a big puddle of it, a big cup of it, the inside is not going to want to dry because it will become encapsulated in the rest of the latex. Or it will just take forever to dry. It's not like with urethane, which is a catalyst. When you mix it together, those two chemicals combine and there's a chemical reaction that will eventually finish. With the latex, it's drying. So if it can't get to the air, it won't ever dry. But you could fabricate your pommel out of foam, EVA foam, and then just coat it in latex. That's what I would do. The foam will take up most of that space, and then the latex will seal it and make it all durable. So that's what I would do. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
What he said.
There you go, fake Alex. Next one. Last one. Missile Monkey. How hard is it to get into casting things in metal? Depends on the metal. Really does. You did a bunch of metal stuff. It wasn't necessarily cast.
It wasn't cast. No.
On your arm.
Yeah. That was all just heat form shaped. So
did you use like a blowtorch and like pliers and stuff?
Yeah.
Could you put this on?
Yeah.
Me?
No reason.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez. Oh, is someone going to win bingo because of this?
I think so. I think so.
This shirt is so dirty, you guys.
Ladies and
there's
gentlemen.
something in the pocket.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
I found this is in the pocket. That's the oops. Ta-da. There's the thing there. So this piece in particular I made by hand because I couldn't figure out how to 3D print it or 3D model it.
Is this the buck for it?
Yep. No, I molded it in alginate and cast a copy in plaster, and then I destroyed that, making the copy. Who won? So who won bingo? I haven't seen anyone in chat yell out bingo yet. Monk? Did Monk win?
Monk!
That's a bingo.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Wait, what does he win?
I don't know. Monk is the one that made the game, so
There's got to be something around here you can give away.
Metal. So real quick, we'll finish it up with this one. We did a video on casting things out of pewter. Pewter and lead melt very low at low temperatures. By low, I mean like 600 degrees, not like 1200 degrees or higher. You can get silicone. Actually, you can pour that into this mold and it'll totally make a copy. It will also destroy the mold. But you may get a couple copies before it does. Mold max 60, I think. Is heat resistant.
One of them is rated for heat.
Again, we have a video on casting in pewter that's worth watching. We'll have a link down in the description. So, low melt metals, not that hard. But the higher you go, you can't use silicone for your mold. You have to make sand, lost wax casting, or plaster. I've never done any of that. There are probably lots of videos on the internet on how to do it. So, there you go. But if you just need pewter, we got you covered. That's it. That's all the questions. We plowed through all of them. All the ones we have anyway. Thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. Always really, really good. You guys never disappoint. Eric, what do you work? You got that sword you work on? Do you have any other cool things you're working on?
Hoping to finish up the sword here this week. I should have paint on it tomorrow. So should have some photos of it early next week.
Fantastic. And if you guys didn't get a chance to see or hear about it, if you got here late, if your name is Hey Patch and you got here late, Eric's doing a giveaway. Tell the fine folks about the giveaway.
So giving away Immortan Joe's buckle from Fury Road. So it's a resin cast, cold cast, so it's got real aluminum on it. Looks pretty cool.
It does look really cool. I've seen it in person.
You can go to my Facebook page and sign up from
look
there.
Look up Coregeek Creations and Costumes and
Coregeek Cosplay and Creations.
There we go.
Just type in Coregeek.
Just Coregeek.
It's a unique enough name that if you type in Coregeek on any of the social medias, you'll find me.
Give him a follow over there, and then join the giveaway.
But I do have a couple more swords I'm going to be working on soon,
Awesome.
And probably Widowmaker's rifle.
Ooh, that's cool.
Towards the end of summer.
Cool.
For a customer for BlizzCon. So
very, very neat.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited because
so
we're going to BlizzCon.
So that's what I have on the horizon.
I always like to go to BlizzCon to see things that you made.
Thanks. Well, actually, I have a collection of photos of you holding the things I've made at BlizzCon. So someday I'll get there myself, I suppose.
Awesome. All right. Thank you again so much for hanging out with us today, you guys. As always, we will do this again next week here on Prop Live. But thanks again, and we will see you all on the next episode.
Thanks, everybody. See you around on Twitch.